Definitely.
I'm one of that key.
Glad we connected, man.
Thank you so much.
Another Naja brother right here. I'm a brother too. I'm an honorary Naja.
You drinking this?
This is for you right here.
It's for me?
Yeah.
You look okay already.
Oh, this one.
It can be. You can do this one, that's fine, man.
Is that the sponsor to this podcast?
What's that?
Aquafina water.
No, you might need to turn the logo on.
I mean, they might decide to try to say, you know what, let me throw you guys, a couple millions of dollars.
One Jollof, it's nice.
All right.
Thank you so much, man. I'm honored, man. Thank you so much, guys.
Just want to make sure.
It's a nice spot, man.
You can hear.
Thank you, man.
This is beautiful, man. This is for the culture.
Yep.
This is for the culture. It's for the culture. Long time since, man. I haven't seen the world, man.
I know, man. We here, trying to stay alive.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Just want to make sure. All right. All right, so we live.
We live, okay.
So welcome to another episode of the Pepper Soup Talk Show, where we bring to the table movers and shakers in the African diaspora. So our guest today, he owns a business that is really part of the root of Philadelphia. It's based in West Philly. He's been running it for over 8 years. If you're in Philadelphia and you're African or of African descent, you might have heard of this establishment because when you go to a city, especially when you're looking for cultural items, you always think about there's certain types of establishments, and one of those is your grocery stores. And so if for like my Nigerians out there, if you're looking at for a Maggi or your goat meat, there are only a few places that you can typically find those kind of items. And so this guest today is the CEO of All African Grocery Inc. And we're excited to talk to him about how it's been building it to where it's at, how he's navigated during the pandemic, because we know the pandemic has affected small businesses so much, and to get a sense of his journey and how he's come to be who he is today. So with all that said, not to be too long-winded, welcome to Pepper Soup Talk, Chidi Charles.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, guys, man. I'm really honored, man. Man. Thank you so much, guys, man. Thank you so much, man.
So Chidi, welcome to the show, and so let's just dive into the show. Like I said, be comfortable, be yourself, keep it real. This is your space. It should feel like you're coming home to the motherland.
Right.
And so before we get into the business aspect of what you do, first we want to hear your story. Tell us a little bit about your background and a little bit about the story behind how you came to create the African store that you have established in West Philly.
First of all,
if you want to get close to the mic, you want to get
right. First of all, it's been a long road. My bad. First of all, my name is like I said, Chidi Charles. I thank God. First of all, I thank God for life. During this whole pandemic, it hasn't been an easy road. For every small local business, in the community, around West Philly and in the whole neighborhood. So how everything all began, you understand? I came from in a middle class family, from Nigeria. You understand? I came to the country, 2013. You know, as an immigrant family. It wasn't an easy road. Shout out to my uncle. They paved the way for me. They created the platform for me, before coming. And they were actually my uncle and his brother. They were the first, Africans, who had African store in West Philly. And I don't know if you've seen, the short light skinned, guy with the glasses. I don't know if you've seen him, every once in a while. So they created that impact for me, before I even came. So it was more of like a blessing. And even before that, I always, had that zeal of buying and selling. So when I was back home, I used to own a boutique, back home. And
it's like Lagos or?
Yeah, Lagos. Yeah. So in Surulere, my homeboy right there, he's from Surulere too. Also, shout out to Tochi.
Shout out to Surulere.
He's one of the best guys in the CDL industry. He owns, he owns a company in the CDL industry. He's good at what he's doing though. So back to what we're talking about. So so you started from there. So came to the States. So I already had the mindset of the buying and selling platform already. So where I started from, where whiskey started from Jollof. Most people don't, a lot of people say shout out to whiskey. A lot of people be like,
shout out to whiskey.
Yeah, we shout out whiskey. A lot of people feel like, whiskey, but he started from how I started from.
Yeah.
So literally, but the first time I saw whiskey, it's gonna be crazy. We literally, he wasn't far. So there's a place they call in Sule called Shita. So I used to smoke weed there. So whiskey comes there to smoke weed every once in a while.
Yeah.
So that was my first time seeing whiskey. Then
when was this?
This was like 15 years ago.
15 years, okay.
I came 2013.
Yeah. So this is before Wizkid.
Yeah, before he blew up. Yeah, before he blew up.
Okay.
This was when rest in peace, Dad Green. This was when Dad Green, was in the spotlight. So So I was trying to pull myself together.
Yeah.
And I already had the buying and selling thing going on. I had a boutique. I'm right in Ojoleba. You understand? So I got my homeboys, who travel, who go to China, India, and stuff like that to supply me. And that was where, the mindset of buying and selling started from. And when I, coming to the States, when I came in 2013, it was basically more of like a family business thing.
Yeah.
We created the legacy, and we're trying to keep everything in the family.
So it was all African grocery. So was that started by your uncle? You mentioned your uncle kind of created the platform here.
Right. So my uncle started it first, and they ran the business for a very, very, very long time, for over 20 years.
20, wow.
Over 20 years. This is when. So back then it was called West Philly, but now it's called University City. So now this is when the gentrification is going on right now. So then it was so many blacks, around the neighborhood. Yeah. So when Penn, Temple, people started moving back in the neighborhood, they changed the name to University City.
And even just to say, what street is All African Grocery on?
4517.
45 in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So just to give context, because Saku and I, we went to UPenn, and when we were there, it was considered University City, but we know that each year, every couple of blocks would, continue to be called University City. So even, back at that time, which is almost 10 years ago, it was still considered, West Philly, but now you go even past 45, 48, 49 are starting to be called University City.
Right.
And so it's just like, talk about the gentrification that's going on in the city in general, because it just keeps pushing, back further and further.
Yeah, I mean, the honestly, the gentrification really affected, small local businesses, because a lot of people couldn't, afford the rent, because, the rent was going up, and it kicked out a lot of, so many, my brothers and sisters, in the neighborhood, and they moved to, to Southwest Philly, which is Woodland Avenue, which is popularly known, where, a lot of Africans are.
Yeah.
So by the time when I came into the picture, my uncle was about to retire from the business. So when I came in, he was like, I'm about to give up this business.
Yeah.
You know what? Are you going to buy the business or what?
Yeah, to you, so this is...
Yeah. So I was
you.
like, you know what? I had to, think about it.
Yeah.
So me coming into the state, I already have a little bit of coins,
Right.
on my pocket. You understand? I already have a little bit of change,
Okay.
I was like, in the worst scenario, if he wants to sell it, because business is business.
Right.
And my uncle don't play with his money. You understand? So he was like, so what you want to do? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. Because I didn't want to work for nobody. The mindset was to keep the business within the family.
Yeah.
I didn't want to work for nobody.
Yeah.
And I've never worked for nobody. You understand? And I was like, you know what? Let's make a deal. We had a contract. We signed a deal for a 1-year deal. I ain't gonna disclose the amount. It's confidential. It was a lot. And I was like, Uncle, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I signed the deal. And I paid him up the money within 1 year. It was tough. So I had my crew then, who I was working with. Shout out to my son's mom. I still gotta give her props also. Because we did it together.
Yeah.
So we did it together, and by the grace of God, we were able to execute, that goal, that mission within 1 year. So we paid up the business within 1 year. But there was so many tribulations, even doing all that.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood was already changing. Rent, everything was was high and everything. And I thank God.
This 2013, 2014.
Yeah, within 2013, 2014. I was able to accomplish that mission by 2014.
Wow.
Right. And I think this is like why we want to have you on the show, just to highlight small business owners like you, particularly like business owners that sort of immigrant focused, and how resilient the business has been despite gentrifications, despite all the changing in population. Like you said, West Philly was predominantly black people, so it makes sense to have an establishment of African, and what's the beautiful thing about West Philly, I don't know if you know, it's very diverse.
Yeah, very diverse.
But given the fact that these populations are constantly changing, it poses a lot of challenges for business owners like you. So given all that, your business continued to be there. I remember, like I said, Key and I graduated from Penn 2013, and it was so great to walk down there and just be like, wow, we see an African store here. That means a lot for most of us who are Africans, right?
Yeah.
It kind of gave us a sense of belonging. So your stores was more than just a basic store where we get like a pepper or Maggi. It was much more. It kind of gave us a sense of home.
Right.
But then, so talk to us a little bit about the pandemic.
So during the pandemic, man.
And how do you sort of got through the pandemic? So what challenges the pandemic posed on your stores?
So I'm gonna tell you what most people don't see or didn't know. Before the pandemic kicked in. So back in 2019, after securing the business, this is where you go crazy. After I secured the business, right? So as a young man, there's a way, you have a vision. You wanted the business to look like the platform. You have the whole platform. So I wanted the business to look a different kind of way. So what you see is not what it was before. So I was like, I had to shut down the business for 1 year. I closed down the business for 1 year. I had to renovate the whole place, make it look like, so my friends call it corner shop, right? You understand? They call it corner shop, right? So I needed to make it look like solid, sound, clean, neat, because most, like the neighborhood has changed. So I want people to come and feel welcome, in a neat environment. You understand? So if you're paying for what you're paying for, you get what you want. So I shut down the business for 1 year.
And it's 2019.
Yeah, in
This was
2019.
before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing no business.
Yeah.
So I was still paying my mortgage and all that.
Yeah.
And, so I did everything. Now, I was back in business in ending of 2019, in October, September. Now, hitting January 2020, before the pandemic hitting, now everything changed. Now the pandemic, it was so crazy that the prices is like my homeboy, shout out to my homeboy Tochi, he's into the CDL, and most of all like Target and Shopper and the rest, without the truck drivers, you can't get no delivery. Everything was expensive. Now let me give you an example, right? So I used to sell one crate of let me give you the numbers, right? I'm not supposed to give you the numbers, but for example, now I used to sell one case of egg for $2, right? On a regular day, if you come to my, it's $2. But when the pandemic kicked in, I was selling for $4. That's double the price. Yeah. And the neighborhood was like, at that point of time, they didn't care, but I care about my customers. And if I'm buying it for a huge price, how much I have to put? For people to aim for a living. So it was really a problem, and I thank God, I stayed strong. I was able to make sure it was affordable for certain people. It wasn't easy. And they had curfew. And I need to make sure my employees, everybody, was still on deck, and I had to make sure that everything was still going on the way it was going. It wasn't easy, but thank God, the stimulus and anything, we small local business, sometimes we don't benefit from most of all these things. You understand? And
like the PPP.
It's a bigger picture to it.
Yeah.
The most people who get the money out of it is the big box companies. You understand? And we smaller companies, we don't really get the big bread. Yeah. So if you can't beat them, you join them. Yeah. That's what it is. Right. But I thank God that my the business was able to manipulate in the sense of let me say we're able to go through all that stages and still come out of it and still stay strong, because honestly, a lot of business closed up. Yeah. There's a business, there's a store right on the stop sign, not far from my store. It's called Make and Shake. They closed up. Wow. Because of the pandemic, they couldn't pay their employees. And the business is my business is like essential business. Yeah. Everybody got to eat. Yeah. Everybody got to eat. You got to eat. You gotta buy you gotta buy cow skin and all that shit, just like it's talked about the other day. So it wasn't easy, but I thank God that everything is about to be over. I just stay strong, and I made sure that my supplies was steady, so that way, because outside the neighborhood, there are a lot of people who depend on that store. Yes. It's a lot of just like Temple and Penn. They're not far from me. Yeah. There's so many international students whereby they don't know no African store apart from
that one.
Like for example, now if you look up my store online now, if you type African store on Google, my store is the first that's gonna pop up on Google. Right. So but I thank God for that.
And that's the real critical thing that when I think of the African grocery. That's one store that when you think about African grocery stores in Philly or even this area, that's the one that usually comes to mind for most people. So something I'm curious about is, with you coming from Nigeria and then buying the business from your uncle, what was that like coming from? Because Nigeria is a completely different environment, right. And so you're also transitioning into being in the U.S. Because was that your first time in the U.S.?
Yeah, so this is my first time in 2013.
So you also transitioned into being a U.S. resident too. So how was it like, taking on that business and then even navigating the, guidelines and how businesses run in the U.S. versus how businesses run in Nigeria? Because you had, you also, doing something back home as well. So you talk to us a little bit about that transition.
Honestly,
take your time.
honestly, Honestly, first of all, I thank God. I thank God for life. You understand? I'm a Christian, and I give God the grace. I lost so many loved ones, growing up. Even though I still lost loved ones, out here in the States. Even while I'm still here, and I give God the glory. It wasn't an easy route. You understand? Nothing good comes easy, but takes much practice. One thing I did was that I had to study my craft. So some people do just like what you guys are doing right now, right? You might be doing it for fun, but you don't know the long run that's gonna come out of it. You understand? So what I did was that I knew, like I said earlier, I knew buying and selling from back home before I came here. So when I came, I had to adapt to the system. Yeah. Which is, shout out to my uncle too also. Yeah. Without him,
my uncle is
so,
pivotal.
Yeah, there's a level to this, to everything. Right. So I had to learn, and apart from everything, I needed to know my numbers. The numbers is very, very important because everything is important. So I had to know my numbers, and I needed to know how to, to say, okay, for example, now this hat right now, I get supply from this heart, and this heart right now I get a delivery for this heart, and the delivery is like my own supply. They give it to me for $10. Now, how much am I going to resell it for? Okay, maybe I might add $5 on towards it. Yeah. Now, the $5, that's my profit. Right. Now, if I decide to say, you know what, I want to import it myself, I don't have to go through the route that I went through. If I go through my direct connect, I might get it for half of the price of the $10. Now I'm going to make 100% profit. So it was tough, for me, but at the same time, one thing I made sure that I never, lose guard. Let me say lose guard. I make sure that I needed to make sure that this numbers is accurate. I needed to get to the direct connect. Yeah. Because the direct connect is very, very important.
Cut the middleman out of it.
I needed to cut the big. This is all. Rest in peace, Mr. Hustle. Right. It's all money in, no money out. Yeah, I needed to make sure that every money was coming in. Yeah. For instance, now, right? A lot of people, who come to my store, they cut meat. Right. So I have a meat machine and I cut meat. I know stores who are not as big as mine. They come to my store to cut their meat and go to their store to rebag it. But I do everything. That's why I say all money in. Right. You understand? I do everything. Jack of all trades. Yeah. So it wasn't that easy. But one thing I made sure was that I needed to know my numbers. And coming into America, it wasn't that easy because shout out to my uncle. He needed to. I needed to walk. I walked with him for close to a year for me to understand the business. Because a lot of people get into businesses. They don't know the in and out of the business. Right. Take for instance now. You guys are gonna crack up right now. Okay. So I went to ShopRite one day. Right. No, sorry. Walmart. I went there one day, man. I went there one day. I saw jollof rice packaged for sale.
In ShopRite.
I swear to God. Because they're laughing, right? So when I saw that jollof rice, right, I'm like, who's gonna eat this thing? It's only Americans or whoever who doesn't know the origin of jollof rice. You feel me? You and I know where jollof rice came from, and we know that you gotta go to a restaurant and sit down and eat nice jollof rice. Now, going back to what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. They're gonna lose money because they don't understand the business of jollof rice. Now, my workers, this is what I tell them. My employees, what I tell them. Everything on this store is not for. Everything on this store is not meant for decoration. Everything here is for sale. Nothing here is for decoration. Everything is for sale. So everything on this shelf here is for sale. I don't put nothing on the shelf that is not gonna go. Everything gotta go within a week or 2 weeks. So that jollof rice, I went back there. It was still there for sale, and it has an expiration date. it's crazy. So
that's funny as hell.
So you need to know your number. You need to know the business. You understand? So
Yeah.
that's why I said I needed to work with my uncle. I needed to study the business. I needed to know my numbers, to know my in and out. I need to know who I'm gonna be getting my orders from, my deliveries from. And thank God, I mean, I ship most of my, he brings most of my shipment from Africa. He's into the shipping, company. I mean, he brings. That's why I brought him there. He brings most of my stuff imported, from Africa. That's why I said all money in. I have to go to the middleman. I cut all the whole middleman out, to make sure I bring everything over myself. You understand? It's not going to be easy, but a lot of people didn't start. My uncle didn't start how I started.
Yeah.
You understand? Now he's even buying things from me. He's supplying some stuff. But we all keep everything within the family.
Yeah.
And we thank God for that, though.
Now, I think that's really props to your business savvy, but also your resourcefulness, being able to use everything that is with you, because when you say whether it's this idea of cutting the middleman out, when you say like everything here is for sale,
nothing here is for decoration. Man.
People come in and
that's like a hashtag.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Everything is for
Nothing here for decoration, man.
Yes, the numbers are important. The numbers are important. Yeah.
So again, Chidi, thank you so much for being vulnerable, for honestly sharing your experience with us.
So much.
It's really powerful. So we're going to just continue with the next question. Pretty much is going to be, what perception? People have certain perception about African stores. Whether sometimes it's positive or whether that's negative. And this is mainly for people who are like not African. How has your stores changed people's perception about African stores and African food itself?
Honestly, man, thank God for every African community. Thank God for every African, on the block, in the whole West Philly. You understand? Africa in the whole, has changed the perspective. Like I said, right. My uncles were the first African, people who opened up African store in West Philly, and the African store in the whole, right? There's so many African people who come to the store to buy things I never met in my life before. Zambia, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Niger, even South Africa. Although South Africans, it's hard to say a lot of South Africans who travel a lot like that. But when you see one of them who come to the store, it gives me joy. You understand? And I'm honored because when they come to my store, I ask them so many things that they need that I don't have, and I go and get it for them, so that way they can keep coming. I mean, I don't want them. So in the business wise, I don't want them to take my money elsewhere. But they can take the money to wherever they want to take it to. But in the whole business aspect, it changed the business in the sense that the whole. You see that University City, right? It's a blessing in disguise, in the sense that the Temple students, the Penn students, most students, international students who come, across, the globe, and who stop by to buy stuff, I mean, I'm like, creating an impact in their life. You understand? And it changed the whole perspective of the business. And the way I see it right now, I believe that there's so many African stores on the just like Southwest Philly. There's so many African stores around there, and and they doing their own thing. And I think I'm the only African store on that University City. On that Baltimore Avenue. Although there's so many African stores around there, but me, I'm just different. I like to do something different. And most of listen, man. Like yesterday, right? I was at the store, right? I got like a bunch of students, from Penn, who stopped by to buy stuff. And honestly, they were all white people. They stopped by to say, man, I want to buy some ginger juice. They bought like 17 ginger juice. they'll be like, man, I need this ginger juice, man. And I'm like, yo, listen, man, you can buy whatever you want to buy, man. And we had some conversation. They'll be like, listen, I'm going to keep coming here, man. And I'm like, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You know, everything is changing. Everything is changing. People are beginning to appreciate the African culture. You understand? And that's what we want to see. With everything going on in the community right now, you know, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and we're here to stay. I mean, we're going to be here for a very long time. For a very, very long time. You know, and I mean, it's everything has changed, and it's a blessing, and we're going to keep on doing what we're doing, and keep on, you know, inspiring people, you know, young people who want to do similar things to us, similar to what we're doing. It's not that easy. It's like younger entrepreneurs who trying to, you know, do the similar thing, you know, do better than, you know, what we're doing. You know, listen, man, it's gonna be a blessing. You know, and you know, we're up to the test.
Yeah, and I think that it's just it's so powerful to see that the stores embody much more than just a place where people get food. The grocery stores seem to me like it's like a tool that reinforces diversity, but also like expose people to different type of culture. Right. And they also allow people to appreciate the African culture. So that's what your stores mean. And I think earlier I was talking to my partner Aki about, you know, why is it like small business owners are like often overlooked, but they play such a vital role in the community. Right. Because this is why like the mom and shop stores are still important today, and why we need them. So I want you to talk about the rise of technology. And so,
well, I mean, one thing we know is when the pandemic happened, I mean, as you mentioned, everything, most places were shut down. You still had your essential establishments, grocery stores, and whatnot that were still able to operate. But then you had the curfews, which put restriction on what you're doing. But for places where you're buying, let's say, food, a lot of places shifted to, you know, the mobile apps for delivery, and that became big. Even a lot of places where, you know, if you're looking at like a number sense, because you're paying your rent, maybe you're paying your mortgage, and those margins might be slim, but by shifting to more digital, where you don't have to worry as much about, let's say, the brick and mortar during the pandemic, if you're able to keep the business running, now that might even change the numbers. So whether it's businesses shifted to that completely or added that as a component, that's played a large part in a lot of businesses that have been able to survive the pandemic or are surviving the pandemic, but also now looking forward into the future, the impact that technology can play on helping businesses thrive, especially businesses where margins are more slim, so helping businesses thrive and be more financially successful too. So I guess with, picking back off, what Sakuda's asked, has All African Grocery thought at all about, a tech component or applying technology at all to what you guys already do?
Yeah, honestly, technology has changed everything, man. You understand? Just like my the inventory part, of the business. You understand? Before I took over the business, everything used to be manual. You understand? And I used to be like, okay, this is out, time is out, curry is out. You understand? I just check the numbers. This is out. This is out. Now the technology part, is different. Now we have a program. You understand, on the system whereby, if this is out, I check it. It pops up on my phone. Oh, this is out. I call my supplier. Oh, bring this. Oh, my CMOS is out. Oh, bring this. Oh, this is my goat is out. So there was one time, it was like a week ago. I was out of goat meat, and this is because of the pandemic. It wasn't because of anything. Because my supplier is from New Zealand. And they were out of it for a while. Yeah. So I needed to, what's it called again? My my registry where, you know, my stuff pops up whereby, oh, this is out. I keep getting notification. Oh, go meet this out. Go meet this out. So I needed to wait, you know, for my delivery to come in. So that way, you know, we can have thought meet for customers and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, the technology wise, you know, it helps the business, you know, in different aspects. You understand? Because technology is everything right now.
Yeah.
You know, and for small local businesses, you know, we need to, you know, try and upgrade, you know, different kind of, you know, platform, different kind of mindset. You know, because there's so many Africans around here who, you know, who still do things in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, now everybody's entitled to do what they want to do. I'm entitled to do what I want to do because, you know, I'm trying to take my business to a different kind of level whereby it's going to be convenient for everybody. You understand? Like I said earlier, beginning, you know, shout out. I'm not trying to keep, you know, my friends call my shop corner shop, right? You understand? But, you know, shout out to them. I got to meet up to a certain standard.
Yeah.
You know, apart from the store being all it is or whatever it is, you know, I need to be able to, you know, I don't want customers to come in and be like, oh, you don't have this. You understand? And everything, you know, it's already computerized whereby, you know, I can be able to check my inventories and see this is out, this is out, this is out, and I ignore all those things. So technology-wise, it's taken into a different kind of, you know, mindset.
Yeah.
Take for instance now, before, like years ago, when you come, you know, with your debit card, you know, usually you swipe your card, right? But now, if you have the, you just touch the POS, the boom. You understand?
Right.
You understand? You understand? So everything is changing. Technology is changing. So you know,
makes you want to spend more money.
I know, right? So everything is changing. So technology-wise, it's gonna help so many, you know, small local businesses, you know, for us to be able to excel and do better, you know, for ourselves, because although it's going to be beneficial for us. I don't know about other small local businesses, but it's just going to, you know, take us to another level.
Especially the ones who embrace technology, embrace how the world is changing. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at all the African stores who still only accept cash. Like, I get the implications, because, you know, I think that it is important that they, you know, if you also accept cash. Not everyone has access to banking or digital banking in the case, but it can also be very limiting too. When again, like going through a pandemic.
It's crazy because, you know, sorry to cut it short, I go to some restaurants, man, and they be like cash only. I said, what you mean cash only? I'm like, what you mean cash only? Oh, there's an ATM across the street. I say, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Then they be like, you know, you take cash out. I say, oh, my boss is not around. You know, we can't. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Everything is changing. So, things like that, you know, it messes up the business, and you know, it chases customers away from even coming to do business with you. Now, technology is changing. You know, now if you can change the mindset of knowing the fact that, oh, okay, cashless, because that's what that's what the country is all about now.
Yeah.
Cashless, you know, I mean, society whereby you don't have to, you know what's going on in Philly, man. You know, you don't want to get robbed, you know, walking on the street, you know, and you understand. So, yeah, I mean, it's really going to help small local businesses. Sometimes you see, let me now. This is the reason why I understand the reason why some businesses do it, you know, cash only. Now, this is one of the reasons why. So, now you see, this big boss company called Square and the rest. That's what they use to swipe their cards. Now, if they buy something for $40, they swipe the card $40 through Square. Square has a percentage. Visa has a percentage. Now, when you look at the ingredients that you use to cook the jollof rice, you understand? You bought thyme, you bought curry, you bought jasmine rice, you bought all these things. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, the profit, they're taking your profit.
Right.
That's why they be like, you know, they want cash.
Right.
But, you know, if your customer margin is huge, that should be the least of your problem.
Right. Right.
Now, All African Grocery Store, we've been in the business for over 20 years, even before I took over the legacy. You understand? I mean, I'm not trying to speak for other small local businesses, but we don't. The goal is to make the business convenient for students. For the masses. For people who are using food stamps, who are using whatever they make it convenient. The money's gonna come in at the long run. And that's why I say we're here to stay.
Yeah.
We're going to be here for a very long time.
Yeah.
And God willing, we're going to open another branch, and then we're going to be here talking about,
Number two.
Now,
Now I want to shout you out and shout All African Grocery out for how the vision, because you're saying it's the second time you said we're going to be here for a very long time. And so the fact that it's been passed down from generation to generation, so to be a legacy business like that, and when we you're hearing a lot of talk today about, let's say, generational wealth or building wealth and generational wealth, and so the fact that you've had that business handed down to you, but you also have a mindset of we want to keep this going, and we want to even build this further and build this to another level. And so with that, I know you said in 2019 you renovated the location, and I know we've spoken before, and I know you mentioned that you're into real estate as well. So if you could talk a little bit about what that was like, renovating the location, and what that process entailed.
Man, it wasn't an easy road, because especially if you're doing everything cash, no loan, no handouts. You understand? It's all about blood, sweat, and tears. You understand? You use a little bit of money that that you made from selling, from selling Gary, selling achete, selling couscous. You understand? Tilapia fish. Put that money together. Save it that this time and this. And one thing about this handyman, I mean, they will give you a time frame. This is the time I'm gonna get this thing done. And just have it at the back of your mind that this thing might not be done at that point in time, because it's gonna be rainy days. So I had to do everything through the hard way, but I thank God. God is good. Even the guy who renovated the store, I have him in court right now because he didn't do most of the things he's supposed to do. The floor of the store, I had to do it twice.
Wow.
You understand? I mean, this is something that I really don't. But this is, like you said, you gotta keep it real, right? You gotta keep it real. So
that's why we had one.
The floor was done.
Yeah.
Right. But if the store has some heavy equipment, so the floor wasn't level up properly. I called him like, listen, man, and it's crazy. It's our fellow kind, in Nigeria. And I'm like, listen, man, this thing you're doing is not. I'm not gonna call names. They're like, listen, you're not doing this right.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it properly. He was like, he was going back and forth, and I said, you know what, it's cool. I will see wherever I'm going to see you. The law will handle this situation. So I called someone else. He did the floor. He did it within a week or two. And that's slow because the project was supposed to be 2 to 3 months. No, the project was supposed to be 30 days. So because of him not doing what he's supposed to do at the right time, now I had to extend it to 90 days. So I have no choice. Like, I'm fixing the store. Customers like, they know that this store is being renovated. They be like, are you guys closed? I say, yeah, we're closed. We're gonna be open. Like, every time it's like I keep, procrastinating. Keep like, oh, we're gonna open in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They keep coming like, you're gonna not stay open. So honestly, it wasn't easy. Although I'm into real estate too also. And those are one of the things that I already know how the game is. And most especially this handyman, they give you a run for your money. If you're not strong about it, you understand, you're gonna give up and you're gonna keep crying to yourself. So I was able to conquer all that, and thank God You know, the business is back looking flying colors. You know, you stopped by the other day.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I mean,
So you're
I
good.
give God the glory, man. So it wasn't easy, but there's so many African stores around the block,
Yeah.
but there's not like an all African grocery store. And there's one thing, you understand? We try to keep the store in a very standard level whereby it's affordable and it's convenient for everybody and it's clean and it's neat. That was the goal. The money will definitely come. Now, a lot of people complain, oh, I go to all the African stores, you know, it's no disrespect, it's not up to the standard, you know, that they were expecting. The store wasn't looking to the standard that I wanted it to look like from the beginning before I took over, but I needed to step up.
Right.
You understand? I needed to make sacrifice.
Right.
But thank God, you know, it's looking like, you know, half financial right now.
Shout out to that.
Chidi,
Shout out to that.
again, for all of those who are tuning in today, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
We're sitting here, we're having so much fun, and I'm learning so much. So if you have any questions, this is for our viewers. Please put it in the chat because, you know, this show is not just about us. This is for you. Chidi, when I hear your experience, it's like, it's so personal to you. You know what I mean? It's just like so personal. Why is like, and I just think this is the power of small businesses, right? And this is why we're so lucky to hear your stories today. Why is it that everything you do, it's personal? And why is that important for businesses to run a business, period?
I mean, you see, running the business, right? First of all, you have to have passion of what you're doing. The passion is very, very important. You understand? Shout out to my uncle. I always give credit to him. Now, let me use him as an example. When he sold the business to me, right? He went back to Africa.
Yeah.
Right. He came back 1 year later. Now, this is an exclusive conversation, right?
Keep it real.
He went. He came back. You know what he told me? I want to buy the business back from you.
Okay.
I said, Uncle, what you mean? He said, I want to buy it back from you. I said, no, it's not possible, man. I already cashed you out. No, it's not possible. You know what he told me? My uncle is in his 60s now.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s, getting to my late 30s. You know what he said? I will work for you. I said, no, it's not possible, Uncle. No, you can't go that low. You're a boss. You paved that way for me. It's not going to be possible. You know what he did? He relaxed. He put himself together. Said, you know, it's cool. I'm going to always, you know, get up. I said, Uncle, you can do it. You've done it before by yourself. You can do it. Now, to God be the glory, he has another store on Southwest Philly, you know, called Amigo. You understand? And he's doing great for himself. You know, so my point is that he had the passion for the business. For him to come back and say he wants to buy it up from me, he had the passion for it. And he knows the craft.
Yeah.
He made millions of dollars in the business. You understand?
That's powerful.
You know, so
Powerful.
and he knows he taught me the numbers. He told me how to move around.
Yeah.
Now, when I did the store the way it is, he stopped by. He stopped by. He was like, damn. It was like, damn. He wasn't expecting that it was going to be this far. I said, man, Uncle, God bless you, man. He was like, you know, I'm proud of you, man. You did what I wasn't able to do. So, I mean, me personally, I was able to study the craft.
Yeah.
I was able to embrace the craft. No, it wasn't that easy. I needed to understand the craft and be able to understand that, you know, sometimes there's tribulations, there's things that you're going to come across. There are times whereby I'm back on bills, You understand? I owe people money. I even owe people money. You understand? And I'm keeping it real, and I needed to pull myself together.
Yeah.
But it's all about the comeback.
Yeah.
And stay strong. Running the business, it's not easy. Now I'm gonna tell people, most people who want to really do the same, similar thing like this. You understand? One thing you gotta understand is that you can do better than anybody. You can do better than me, better than everybody who owns African store on the block. But once you gotta understand is that if you're doing it for fun, fall back, man. Fall back, man. You gotta do it for the fact that you're doing it for the culture. You do it for the fact that you understand the business, the in and out of the business. You understand? And secondly, the location of where you're trying to open up the business matters a lot. That location is epic. I can't trade it with nothing.
Yeah.
You understand? If I open the African store out on this block, man, I don't know if I'm going to do good. When I was trying to pull up, and my homeboy was like, "Yo, man, what's up with this block?" I'm like, "No, this is
It's interesting. It's interesting because we actually live in the lofts, and we've been here for.
No disrespect. I can't.
No. I actually got a funny story. I got a funny story because this building is very nice building, but
It is nice.
we know the area is it's gone through some changes, and because we've been here for almost 5 years now.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so it's even how this area looks, just the surrounding area now compared to even 5 years. I mean, it's night and day. But even when you still come, there's people who come to the area and then come up, and ask or said, "Man, I thought this was a setup."
It's a setup, right?
so it's funny you say that.
Oh man,
It's funny you say that.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I was saying, like to the young entrepreneurs who's trying to because I had a customer who came to my store 2 weeks ago. He was like, "Do you own the store?" So I mean, I'm very humble. You understand? A lot of people feel like this guy is bougie and stuff like that, but it's not that. He was like, "Are you on this place?" I said, I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Okay. How much is it going to cost me to open up a store like this? I just moved down from Chicago." I said, "Man, it depends, on the location. Location is very, very important in any business you're trying to do, especially if you're doing buying and selling. It's very, very important because, take for example now, right? You don't want to open an African store in what's that place after media? Newtown Square.
Yeah.
You don't want to open an African store in Newtown Square. You know where Newtown Square is?
Yeah, MPA, right?
No, yeah, Delaware County. Yeah, that's like the suburbs.
Yeah.
All white people there. You don't want to open an African store. Who's gonna buy it? Ain't nobody gonna buy nothing from you. If it's a corner store like a Mexican, they will. You understand? But there's no Africans. If Africans live there, but no African store. So the location is very, very important. So when he asked me that, I was like, it's gonna cost you a couple thousands, but it depends. The location is very, very important.
Yeah.
The location comes first. You can have the money, but open up the store in the wrong location, and it's gonna affect your business. Now, whatever money you put in towards that location, it's gonna just go down the drain. So you're gonna have the money, the funds, which is very, very important. Then the location. When you get the location, you look around, you know that this is what this neighborhood needs. This is what they need. Then, you start trying to, put yourself together, get handyman, put this store together. When you put this now, this is where the business get interesting. You understand? Listen, even ShopRite, even Walmart. Listen, I guarantee you, 100%, 70% of every merchandise in the store is not paid cash. I can bet whoever runs Walmart is not paid cash.
Right.
They give you upfront.
Right.
They give you the merchandise to go sell. Run the business. It's a contract. Sell. As you sell, you pay me. As you sell, you pay me. Now, as long as you're honest, that okay, I give you 2 weeks to sell this phone. Make your profit. That's it. 2 weeks is over. Come and I give you, what you asked for, and the rest belongs to me. Every grocery store, every buying and selling store does the same thing. Now, I do the same thing. Sometimes I pay cash if I know that this thing. So I only do things like that if I know this product is something that's going to sit on the shelf for a while. You got to be smart in the business because you don't want to lose money.
Right. And I think it's just all about being practical, being realistic, but also like knowing like the community. Right. So this is really great, and I feel like I'm learning so much about how to run a small.
I'm definitely learning.
Sometimes when you think like this is small, it looks easy from the outside.
But
it's just like
it looks easy
behind the closed door, there's so many calculations that's going on to make sure that not only you're able to thrive, but to really maintain your customer. So you talk a lot about people think about businesses. The first thing that pops in their mind is like profit, money. But you keep like putting money as a secondary priority, but you keep putting your customers first. And I think what resonated with me is just like every time a customer walks into your store, you like have a conversation with them. Why is that small talk with customers so important?
You see, man, I keep giving my uncle so much credit, man. Shout out to him, man. You see, generally, me personally, I'm a social kind of person. I'm Aries. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to all the Aries, by the way. My mom was too.
Shout out to all the Libras out there.
So,
are we doing that now?
so this is the thing, right? You see, customer relationship is very, 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 very important. Very, very important when it comes to business. Especially if you're selling an essential business, whereby you know that if you don't have a relationship with your customers, trust me, you as an owner, you're gonna eat everything in the shop by yourself. You need to create that relationship with your customers. And my uncle told me that thing. I already know about it, but he taught me way better. Sometimes give customers free stuffs. Things that are trying to be expired next week, give it to them for free. Communicate with your customers. What is, oh, you need this? Oh, I don't have it. Come next week, I'm going to have it. So it's very, very important for you to have a personal relationship with your customers. It's like, even excluding you. You understand? I have customers, that drive all the way from Harrisburg.
Wow.
No cab.
Wow.
And these customers, right, when they come.
But Harrisburg, that's a couple of hours.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen. I've never seen any customer, ShopRite, Walmart, Target, who comes at the Target don't sell food stuff, but who comes at the stretch and spend $900 at one point at the stretch, and when they buy, they know that they're buying it and they ain't gonna come to the store for the next 1 month. So, and it's because of. Do you think I'm the only African store they see coming down from Harrisburg, coming down here? I'm not the only one. There's so many Africans on the road coming, but it's because of the relationship I have with the customer. I treat them right. I make them feel comfortable. I give them deals, give them free stuff. You understand? It doesn't have to be. Maybe it's about to be expired next week, but it's my own principle. It's my own logic. It's my own mindset. It's my own way of doing certain things. I don't think I can bet my business. I don't think there's any African store who just give free stuff. Just to encourage customers to keep coming and to make them feel good. Just because everything there, you buy them with money,
right? And
everything is meant for sale, not for decoration, right? You understand? So you just have to create that relationship with your customer and make them feel great, make them feel good. So that way, because let me tell you this thing, right? So if you go online, right, people put reviews. You understand on the store, right? And people who put reviews, I try as much as I can to respond to them. Some I don't. You
Yeah.
understand? And I try to respond to whoever as much as possible I can respond to. Now, the way you treat your customers, it goes a long way. Now, when you respond to them in a different kind of way, even though you don't treat them right. So there was a customer one day, right? I was like, trying to, let me just, see reviews online.
Right.
This customer said, oh, he said it's open by 9 o'clock. And I'm here till 9:30, he's not still open. He must have to change his time from to 9:30. I responded to the customer. I said, my apology. That particular day, there was an emergency, but we opened at 9:30. Is there anything we can do, to help you out, to compensate you for the little of taking extra you waited for? We wanted to help you out. Customer said, cool. Holy behold, right? When I responded to the customer, right? The customer came back. The customer left, right?
Yeah.
Came back another day and said, came to buy something. And he said, I leave the comments. He was like, oh, I leave the comment on the website, blah, blah, blah. And I was a person who came. I said, oh, really? My apologies.
Yeah.
And he's a French-speaking guy.
Yeah.
I go to business on my ticket. And so it's not about other things, but customer service goes a long way.
Yeah,
You gotta make them feel good. Like Tupac says, recipes Tupac. In the whole real homies make you feel good. You understand?
Amen.
You understand? Say that again, man. I feel like that's what we need to hear right now.
Exactly. So a good customer service will make the customer feel good. No matter, it's not about the money. Because, like I said, everything there is for sale. Everything for decoration. You understand? If you don't treat them good, they'll be like, I will go to Woodland Avenue to, and spend that money.
And sorry to interrupt you, though. I think the fascinating thing happened the other night when we were at a store, right? Me, you, and some other guy, right? And one of the customers, the white dude, remember, he passed. And then came back again. And basically he came to tell him that the wife passed away. You can take it story. That was a very interesting.
So this is what happened, right? God bless you for bringing that up there, Tochi. So this customer, right? Rest in peace, man. To the wife. So the wife passed away of cancer. So I make keys. So that store is a jack of all trades. So I make house keys. I make car keys.
I want you to be mindful not to reveal too much of your secrets. You got other small business out there.
This time was supposed to be 1 hour. Like, is it over 1 hour now? I'm trying to take you guys there.
Listen, now we can.
So
we're not gonna cut you short.
Okay, so this customer, right? He's married. So during the pandemic, so the wife keep coming to the store to patronize him, to buy stuff. They're Mexicans. The wife is Mexican with his sister. So they keep coming, they've been coming a long time ago. I make keys for them, even when I was still doing Western Union, they were still coming, I was still attending to them, making them feel great. And the love was there. So I didn't know that the wife was married to a white guy. That's cool. So everything was cool. I didn't know that the wife had a cancer, but was suffering from, cancer.
Yeah.
So breast cancer. So one of the breasts was off.
Yeah.
Was left with a second one. So they get them coming, keep patronizing, buying stuff, making keys. Because she got a couple of properties on Baltimore Avenue.
Gotcha.
So everything was okay. The husband was so territorial. He doesn't want to come closer to me. He brings his sanitizer. If he buys goat meat, he sprays the goat meat. You understand? And then put it in the bag. Make sure everything's sanitized and go home. Cut the story short, man. So when I was hanging out with with my homeboy, and he was passing by. We said, "Hey Charles, I've been looking for you on this rock. I see, oh my bad, man. You know, I look all over the place, man. You know, my bad, man. How's everything? How's your wife?" So my wife is dead, man.
Oh man.
I had to grip he's an older guy. I had to grip him. I had to hug him. I had to hold him tight. I said, "You lying." Like, God forbid, it's like someone you see every day that passes to your store all the time to come make keys. Now, she's not. You see, that thing right there made me appreciate life more. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "It's fine. She's in a better place. She's been suffering for too long."
Yeah.
That, just how to let it go. So, the relationship I had with the wife, as a customer, and even the husband, is epic.
Yeah.
It's epic. Yo, see, the relationship I have with my customers, and even people who don't know me, now let me, my friend will say, "Make a bust your brain." so let me tell you, see, I have customers, right, who come to buy something because of me, they just want to see me. You just want me to be dead. Like, no cap, man. I swear to God, man. You just want to see me. Like, my nephew is at the store, is my office right now, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes he has to call me, like there's someone who's looking for me. He says he's waiting for me to come so I can attend to them. Like, it's the love. That's the love right there.
Love, man.
And I can't trade it for anything. And I appreciate, my customers all over, West Philly.
Yeah.
Wherever they're coming from. I mean, it's not easy. Running, a business like that, making sure, you got to keep up with customers, you got to keep up with the city regulations.
Yeah.
Because the city, the city
don't play.
The city don't play.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you keep up with the city regulations. He was there when the city came. They're almost trying to shut me down. So many times. That's why I did what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, mice issue, roaches issues, all those things, you got to make sure everything is on point.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said, I should keep it real. There was a time they almost shut me down. I mean, listen, I'm not proud about it. I'm happy about it. But I had to do better.
Yeah.
I had to step up my game. I had to do what's right for business, because it's an essential business. You understand? Just like Fresh Grocery, the one on Walnuts.
Yeah.
You know what? It was shut down at one point. It was shut down, and now it's run by Acme.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why they shut it down. So the city. Now let me put it this way. I'll be honest with you, right? So University City, they're trying so hard to kick away the black businesses off University City because they feel like we can keep up with certain things. But we ain't going nowhere.
Right.
We're here to stay.
Right.
The building belongs to me.
That's right.
You understand?
Say that again, man.
We trying to keep. I'm into real estate. I got a couple properties. Thank God. God is good. And I'm gonna make sure that the business stays strong.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do better. And everybody's my customer. I don't have no enemies in the business. You understand? I mean, it's all love, man. It's all love.
Niggas the city is your customer too.
Yo, come on, man. It's all love, man. So rest in peace, to my customer's wife. Shout out to the cancer awareness. It's not an easy route. It can happen to anybody. We just gotta keep on spreading that awareness. Keep supporting their platform.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean we're rounding the turn to the end of this pepper soup talk. We always like to ask when we're ending, about advice you would give to a younger, person coming up, but in the context of yourself. So your younger self, if you could talk to the younger Chidi, maybe when you're coming to the U.S., you were thinking about buying your uncle's business, and and you bought the business, and you had this journey ahead of you, as someone living in the States. What advice would you give him about how to navigate the waters to build your business to what it is now, to have the faith and the courage to say, I'm going to take this to the next level, beyond this, and we're here to stay. What would you say to him?
I mean, first of all, you gotta put God first. If it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would have been today. You understand? Thank you to my family too, also with the prayers. Your mom's prayer doesn't go in vain. Your mom's prayer goes a long way. One thing, whoever is trying to, do better than, what I'm doing, and to be great in what they're doing, they gotta be focused, and they gotta be decisive on what they're trying to do. Are you trying to do it for fun? Just to get quick money? You're trying to do it for the long run. It's very, very important. You understand? And this was the questions, my uncle asked me. Are you doing it for fun? If you're doing it for fun, just do it for fun. Make your money you want to make and sell it to whoever you're gonna sell it to.
Yeah.
But I know I'm gonna have kids.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. I have a son. My son is gonna be 5. Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
You understand? Shout out to Judah, King Judah. Yeah. I mean, you got to know what you're trying to do. The money will definitely come.
Yeah.
Listen. Let me put it this way, right? As long as my store is open, I will make money. If it's closed, I will not make. Who's gonna come and buy something when something is closed?
Right.
As long as it's open for business,
Right.
people will always come in to buy stuff. So I will tell anybody who's trying to be like a better Chidi, who's trying to be like a better Chidi, or who's trying to open up a bigger store, they have to be focused on what they're trying to do and be dedicated, and they got to master their craft. It's a craft to me. Buying and selling is a craft.
Yeah.
People think it's like, should I buy on $10? I'm selling $15. I can put $5 for pocket. You understand? No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
There are other numbers that that you don't know, that you might encounter on the wrong doing the buying and selling thing.
Right.
You understand? If Louis Vuitton was all about making let me make this shoe and let me sell it for $1,500. You understand? But I made it for $900 and I will make $600 in my pocket. If it was that, you understand?
Yeah.
Then he would have been So there was a point. Now it's no longer buying or selling to him.
Right.
Now it's a bigger picture. So that's why the African the African business, you understand, it's a bigger picture. That it's innate that most people don't know.
Yeah.
So I will tell anybody anybody who is trying to do the similar thing, to first of all, they have to make sure that whatever decision they're making, is the right decision. If this is what they want to do, let it be what they want to do. You understand? The money will definitely come.
Yeah.
It's not going to come as easy. Now, it seems like, it came as easy, like, I just, I took over, I bought the business over my uncle. No.
Yeah.
I would have used the money to buy cars and put people to do Uber for me and give me returns. Right. You understand? But I say, this thing, it's a foundation. This is like a headquarters. Yeah. This is where everybody's gonna come and meet me. So let me invest in this thing, and study the craft, and the money will come out later on. Yeah. So people need to, read into things like that and decide what they really want to do. Right. So the funds will definitely come. Yeah. It's not gonna come easy. however it's gonna come, it's gonna definitely always, gonna come out. And if they decide to say they want to open up, the same, kind of business, they have to look for a location, a nice location. Location is very, very important. When they get the location and they sell up the place, trust me, man. Even people in the hole will come out and look for you, as long as you have what they want. You need to have what customers want.
Yeah.
You understand? Look at the Chinese people, right? If you go to a Chinese store, right, and you go there to ask for curry,
Yeah.
they don't have it. You say, oh, they don't have it. Okay, no problem. They say, I'll get it the next day.
Right.
If you go there now, they won't have it. If another person go back the same day and ask for curry, they don't have it. They'll be like, this is the second person coming to ask for curry. Oh, I don't have it. Come back the next day. Now, trust me, if you go back the third day, you will see curry there. That is how they expand. You see, most people gotta understand. You see, the Asians, they come together.
Yeah.
If you see most Asians who have African stores, they come together as one, and they come together. They buy things a lot, and they distribute the merchandise within themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? And this is one thing. We Africans were so independent. You understand? We love doing things by ourselves. It's just culture wise. It's just how we were raised. I don't want to do everything by myself. I want to have a team. I want to have people who's gonna help me out, who's gonna make things make life easy for me. But sometimes in the black community, we need to try and come together and do things for ourselves.
Yeah.
You understand? And grow. And sometimes we feel like we can do everything by ourselves, but we can't. We can't. We need to come together as a team sometimes, and do things for ourselves. So, just like anybody who's trying to open up this kind of business, right? You don't have to go, okay, for example, you want to go to the bank and take a loan of 60 stack. Oh, I want to open an African grocery store. My brother, my sister, you understand? You can say, oh, I have 10 stack. Oh, my sister, you get 10 stack. Oh, you can come 4 or 5 together, come put that money together, look for a location, open up that business, make everything solid and sound. Before you know it, right, you're gonna grow. See, before you know it, those 4 or 5 people, you open one location, you're doing great in it. Before you know it, you open another location, you're doing great in it. Before you know it, everything will just expand. But if you say, you want to do everything by yourself, now you might do good at it, but sometimes two heads are better than one.
100%.
Honestly, I mean, how I started, America has changed. You understand how I started? It's not how it's not how it is now.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why I'm trying to involve few or 3 people. You understand who's gonna build a legacy and take it to another level.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. You understand? It's not gonna be an easy road. You understand? Because it's not something that you can do by yourself.
Yeah.
You understand? You have over 400 items in the store. You understand? You can't keep up with everything. You need someone to do this, someone to do this, you need someone to do certain things. You understand? So I would advise the young upcoming entrepreneurs who trying to be like Sekou, who's trying to be like who's trying to be like my homeboy, who's to the CDL. You just gotta first of all, they gotta understand that if this is what I really want to do, because some people just do it for the fun.
Right.
You understand? Some people just, take for example now, people just see the glory right now. They feel like, oh, you guys are doing good in the podcasting, you guys are doing, but they don't know how you guys started from. You understand? And that's, it's facts. They don't know how you guys started from. And when the numbers start piling up, they'll be like, oh, wow. You understand? Oh, how did it happen? They don't know that there was a point of time, Chidi, All African Grocery Store was here at one point. We're doing this thing together, and that's that's how it is. So they just gotta be able to first of all keep God first. You understand, and focus, on whatever, they're trying to do, to take them to the next level, focus on the craft, you understand, and, before you know it, it's going to be huge,
No, thanks for that answer. That was a very comprehensive answer.
Yeah.
And Sekou and I before today's show we were talking about growth, just in general, and growth and different businesses and how different businesses grow, and how a lot of it really comes down to what the vision is, what the bigger picture is. So you might have, whether it's you have one business, whether you have multiple businesses, what you do always comes down to, or what the outcome is always comes down to what your mindset is, and ultimately what you want to achieve. And with One Jollof and Pepper Soup Talk, we're very big on empowering the African diaspora, the community, and this idea of building together and group economics, and putting each other on, and so we're very honored to have you on the show today.
Yes, absolutely.
Being a staple business in Philadelphia, and for everyone who's tuned in, also I want to thank you for being on the show. If you haven't already, and you have liked what you've heard, please click the like on the YouTube channel, just right below. We're gonna keep Pepper Soup Talk going bi-weekly, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Chuck, we want to close this out.
Just to build on to what you said, Aki, if you like what we're doing here, please spread the word, share, because at the end of the day, we're definitely not doing this for the money, we're doing it for the culture. Chidi, it's such an honor to have you on the show, because for me, it's just like we know your story since we were college students. So to have you sitting here today and to share your experience with us, really, it's inspiring. It really, your story really it reinforced the hustle. Your story reinforced love. Your story reinforced passion. Your story reinforced doing it for the community. Like you said, something that resonated with me. You saying you're a very humble guy. A guy like you could go out there and just flash so many things, but you still... Yeah, he
slid over the part where he said he got 10 properties. We didn't miss that.
Thank you for being on our show. We appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Like you said, you keep bringing up God. God is good. And I hope that God continue to really... Shout out to my Ramadan brothers and sisters. Yes, I'm actually fasting right now as well. But at the end of the day, you definitely have shared so many gems and skill set that could be transferable to so many things that you could do in your life. So we hope always that the story that our guests share with us on this show, we hope that you have a lot of takeaway that you could sort of implement those in your life. Because at the end of the day, running a business or doing anything in life, people think Steve Jobs, how did he do it? You know what? You don't have to be a magician to do it. No, you just have to have the passion, like you said. You have to have the mindset, but you also have to be resilient. The money's gonna come. The money will come. So, but that's the power of what we're doing here, and to really continue to empower our people, our black and brown people. Right. I love hearing that you have white people, Mexican people, all types of races go into your stores now. Everybody. Because sometimes when people hear African label, African store, they think only African people goes in. No.
You know what's funny, Stable? Let me tell you one funny thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, my walker, right? So one day, she was like, she always called me boss, but I don't like what she calls me boss. She called me by my name. She said, boss, I noticed, the rates of white people who come here, they're different. Please, can we start selling some, I forgot what she said it again. Can we start selling some
Say hummus.
Yeah, wow, my God, what did she say again? She said, can we start selling some, I forgot what there's a meat she called it. She said something, I can't really remember. And I was like, why? She was like, man, people keep asking for this guy. I said, listen, we gotta keep the culture. Now, you can't sell everything.
Yeah.
You see, that's one thing people don't understand about this business, right? You can't sell just because someone comes inside and asks for omelets. You have to go buy omelets. No.
Yeah.
Just for example, shout out to ShopRite
Right.
and Walmart. You sold jollof rice, nobody's buying it. How are you gonna sell a prepackaged jollof rice?
Shout out to one Jollof.
Yeah. You understand? It's a prepackaged thing. Nobody's gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. You understand? That's not how. That's not what we used to.
Yeah.
So just because people came to ask for it doesn't make me have to. I have to buy it. So that's why you gotta understand the craft. You gotta understand the business. You understand? You gotta understand the numbers. You understand? It's funny. Honestly, it's even online. It's even online. Honestly, no cap, man. It's even online. It's pre-packaged. When I saw that thing, the palm oil mixed up with that was kind of crazy. So I mean, you just I try to study my customers. Shout out to to the white folks, to university students, to the Temple students, to the veterans, down the street from my office, University City. You understand who come there, who patronize me all the time. I try as much as I can, to try and have a little bit of what what they want. But I can't sell everything. You understand? We're here to make money. Everything here is for sale, not for decoration.
Yeah.
You understand? That's my logo. That's my slogan. Everything here is for sale, not for decoration. I'm not gonna try to portray what I'm not. I'm not trying to put to store what I'm not trying to sell.
Just gotta make that into a T-shirt.
They gotta pay me for that. Nothing else for decoration. Everything else for sale. Man, thanks guys. We really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate. We want to be mindful of your time.
Thanks
we also appreciate you, brother, for joining us today. Keep up the great work. Let's just keep it going, man, for the culture.
That's what we can do. Thank you guys.
Definitely. Chidi, where can people find you?
You guys can find me, location wise or
social media. How can they stay tuned with
the store is All African Grocery 1112 on the Instagram, and that's the business Instagram. And if you want to stop by at the store, you already know, in West Philly, 4517 Baltimore Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. We're the best in the game. We've been doing it for a very long time. We're here to take care of everybody. You understand? God bless you guys, man.
With that, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Pepper Soup Talk Show. We're here bi-weekly on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Enjoy the nice weather out here. All right.
That was